Touchdown. Welcome to the best sports talk show on YouTube that nobody knows about.
Drunk Sports Center. No.
Drunk Sports Center. No. What?
Two Dash Drink.
Two Dash Drink.
Two Dash Drink.
Two Dash Drink. I don't even know what episode we're on. I've lost track.
I don't care.
We don't care anymore.
Nope.
We're
just talking. Just talk.
We just talk.
If you guys want to talk to us, that works too.
Yeah, whatever. It all works.
Sometimes they do.
What's up, Sean?
How are you?
How you feeling, buddy?
Better.
I'm
sitting here this week.
You're sitting here this week.
I'm sitting here this week.
We had a bye week last week. We've had a lot of bye weeks.
I was out due to injury, so
Sean decided he really wanted that new Ram truck that he's been talking about for a long time. I've been calling it Dodge Ram. I've been getting corrected.
I still slip and say Dodge Ram.
It's just Ram. He wanted his new Ram truck, so he decided to literally obliterate his Jeep. By the way, applaud to the Jeep. That thing took a beating.
I was say what?
I mean,
I'm here.
You're still here. You're still moving. You're still walking. That Jeep, there's no front end left.
There is not.
The front end is like up into the windshield. It's like
four airbags deployed, full front end smashed in.
Unbelievable. You were lucky to be alive, my friend.
I only have a few bruises on my legs, so.
You're lucky to be alive.
Yeah, even my thumb bruises, my finger bruises all went away. So
I'm thankful to the Jeep for saving my buddy.
Yeah.
And
that's how they design cars now. They design them to almost become an accordion, but they protect the person versus the old cars where they smashed into them and the cars didn't move as much, but they caused whiplash on the person in the car. So they're designed more so for that now.
If I would have gotten that wreck with my car, I'd be dead.
Yeah, but your car, so mine caused it because I was going underneath and it smashed everything up. Your car is so much lower to the ground that if you were trying to go underneath, that other car would have been in your face.
Yeah, I would have been dead. But anyways, not to get too morbid on the show.
Well, it's good news. I'm here. I'm healthy.
You're here. You're happy. You're healthy. And I'm going to talk about our unofficial sponsor this week. I'm going to take your segment because it's kind of brought to us by somebody. So we have Buffalo Trace, which is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Okay.
And I went to a BNI meeting. For those of you who don't know, BNI is like a business cult where you get it right. You get together with other like-minded business professionals and you pass referrals back and forth. And then they have a door prize. Well, I substituted for one of our agents and I won a door prize, which happened to be the Buffalo Trace whiskey, which was fitting, right?
Nice.
And then Sean forgot his whiskey again, so we're using my substitute right now.
Well, technically, last week you thought it was you, and I had to correct you and say no, I owed 2 weeks in a row, and then I had an injury week, and
and then you forgot again.
I forgot.
So so Buffalo Trace. It's brought to you by Rusty Pettit's team over at Cruise Planners. So if you need a good vacation plan, hit up Rusty Pettit and his team at Cruise Planners. Sean, you are in charge of sounds from now on.
Yes.
We're getting into the news. We got a lot of news because there was really no show last week. So we got a lot of news. Your boy, we're going to start off with your boy.
Are we starting that route? Okay.
We're starting with your boy, Ben Rottenbooger. He came out last week
he didn't come out. He went to his team. It was leaked.
It was leaked to the press that he has told multiple teammates that this is his last year in Pittsburgh. He did not say he's retiring. He said, this is my last year in Pittsburgh.
But he also said that I can't see myself playing for another team. He also had that part in there too.
Oh, I didn't see that part. But
and then he also this week came out and said, this is my last ride.
Okay. So I have to ask you, Sean, is this his desperate move to get the win one for the skipper or win one for the Rottenbooger?
No, so here's the deal. And once again, as good as Ben has been throughout his career, there's been one consistent. Ben loves the media. He loves to be the center of attention. He loves everything to be focused on him. So now we're getting close to the end of the season. Now we're getting in that stretch run. He wants this to be about his farewell.
By the way, we totally fucked up.
We got a shot. Yeah,
cheers,
sure.
buddy.
Cheers.
We did the unofficial sponsor. We just didn't drink the unofficial sponsor.
Let's drink it.
It's pretty good. Hey, neither one of us picked up our chaser.
I didn't pick it up. It was actually pretty good.
It was a pretty good shot. Buffalo Trace. Anyway, so getting back to it, you don't think it was a desperate act to like try and save the season, win one for the Gipper, win one for Ben Roethlisberger?
No. I think that was more so he wants the attention on him going on the last few weeks here.
I mean, the attention was on him when he got trounced by the Bengals.
And don't get me wrong, the trouncing by the Bengals was, and then the first half of the Ravens game where the offense still did nothing was the wake-up call. It's like, oh, maybe we could let Ben run the offense because our coordinator kind of sucks. And then all of a sudden, what happened? The Steelers somehow offense produced, and they ended up winning that game with 17 straight points against a decent defense in Baltimore.
What a wild ending of the game.
Oh,
I put on Facebook that John Harbaugh called the end of the game like I do the end of the game in Madden. Like if I'm in Madden, if I score the game tying touchdown with the extra point to tie, I'm going for 2. I ain't going to overtime in Madden, right? We ain't going to overtime. Ian is winning this game now, or Ian is losing this game now. And John Harbaugh just pulled his cock out, laid it on the table, and said, I'm winning this game. And if it weren't for your boy TJ Watt getting all up in the grill again, he was all over.
Yeah, but
Lamar.
You can say thank you to the Ravens for not blocking him at all.
I mean, because it was inches. It was like an inch away from being a catch. Like literally.
All the guys you don't block on the line. You don't block TJ Watt, who runs through 2 guys.
The guy who was in front of TJ was the guy who caught the ball or was going to catch the ball. I mean, they just had too many guys up there, and I would have let somebody else in, but then he probably would have got hit versus just having a guy in his face to throw the ball. So. Yes. What a wild finish. But yeah, it's weird that this NFL season is all over the place. Steelers get bounced by the Bengals, then come back and beat technically the number 1 team in the AFC a week later. Yeah. There's no longer the number 1 team in the AFC.
Well, the AFC North at least.
Well, they were the number 1 team in the AFC.
And now they're the number 1 team in the North, but not in the whole AFC.
Exactly.
AFC is an old favorite.
Now it's run by the Patriots after them winning a game, throwing 3 passes. Have we ever seen that before?
No, but I am. You know this. I watch TikTok.
Yes.
I think I sent you the video. No, I don't know if I sent you that video. Okay, so there's a guy on TikTok, and I forget what his name is, but he started talking about Mac Jones and Bill Belichick, and he's like, "F my life, I'm gonna have to deal with another 20-year dynasty again."
I mean,
they took 1 year off. I'm gonna have to deal with this shit again.
I mean, Mac looks solid.
He's had weeks where he looks great, dude.
He's had weeks where he looked great. And then, I mean, Bill is back.
You didn't have to do anything this week. He did.
Like, Bill is back. I don't know how you scheme up a game to win a football game and only throw 3 passes, but Bill Belichick did it.
In 2 days, because you didn't know that windstorm and that snowstorm that they were having in Baltimore, or not Baltimore, but Buffalo. You didn't know that was coming. You had to literally come up with that idea in 2 days that, okay, how are we going to run the ball 40 times? What are we going to do?
And as we talked, so Sean has gotten a little bit more into betting. He is on an absolute tear right now. He's on a hot streak, but I was on a cold streak. I mean, not as cold. This week was decent, but previous 2 weeks were bad. I was on a cold streak, and then I decided to bet my pot on the Patriots to win because Buffalo can't run the football.
Right.
Their running backs fall into the line, run into the line and fall down. Yeah. Their best runner is their quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and the Patriots have been hot, and their defense is really good. And I'm going to go with the Patriots, and sure enough, that paid off really well. So.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. We live in Pittsburgh. The Pitt Panthers are back. Woo! Kenny Pickett.
Heisman.
I don't. Probably not Heisman.
I be honest with you, what I've watched on this season, what I've seen in college football, do I think he should win it? Yes, because I think he's the most important player to his team. So do I think he should win that award? Yes. However, do I think what's his name, Bryce, the quarterback of Alabama, is probably going to end up winning it? Probably. Yeah. He's Alabama.
It's usually a popularity contest.
But my problem here with Alabama is you have a whole team of 4 or 5-star players. How are you not dominating?
Yeah, it's true.
Pitt is not that team. They're good. They're learning. They're growing. But Kenny Pickett, who came back, and me and you saw him years ago, And I didn't even think he'd get drafted when he first started coming around. I thought, oh, this is just another pick quarterback. Gradually through the years, like last year, at the end of the year, people were starting to say, oh, maybe a fourth or fifth round pick, maybe, and he's a backup for life. We're talking about a guy who's either going to be the first or second quarterback taken in the draft this year.
Is it fitting that the year that the Pittsburgh Steelers need a quarterback,
a pick quarterback is going to be
a pick quarterback is going to be a first round pick?
The only catch is, I told you, the Steelers are going to end the season at 8-1. That's going to be their record at the end of the year.
I think they're going to be better than that. What's their remaining schedule?
They have, they have a rough ending to the season.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because they're 6-5-1 right now.
They're 6-5-1. They're going to end.
So you're saying that they're going to lose the remaining.
They're going to go 2-3. They're going to go 2-3 in the last 5 games.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, maybe the Ravens game will give them a little confidence.
Maybe, but I still think they're just wishy-washy, to be honest with you.
I think they're going to beat the Vikings.
And maybe they do, and that's win number 7. But you still have to go play Cleveland. I think they have Cleveland again. I think they have Baltimore again.
Yeah, you split with Baltimore every year.
And that game will be in Baltimore that time.
Right.
So you have Cleveland, Baltimore. I'm pretty sure, I want to say they have the Rams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough one.
Right? Yeah, I think they have the Rams. We played Seattle earlier this year. So, yeah, it should be the Rams. We're in that division, which means we probably have Arizona, too.
Well, the only good news for my struggling team is that out of our 5 remaining games, we play the NFC East 4 times.
Yeah, that's helpful.
So if you need confidence, it's play the NFC East. And we play the NFC East 4 times, right?
Hey, Tony's Eagles.
I mean, the NFC East is starting to look a little better.
They are. They're
not as bad as the AFC South.
Even your Giants are in your division or have been competitive in games.
None of our teams are the worst team in the league.
No, coming from last year where your whole division was
the worst,
a train wreck.
Absolutely.
But it's always hard to judge. I hate that when people judge those divisions by train wreck, because the AFC North is never going to have the top team in the conference in the NFC or in the AFC because they play each other.
I don't know, man. I think from what I've seen, and this is gonna be a little take right here. I think starting next year, the Bengals are gonna go on like a 7-year stretch of being like not only the best team in your division, but the best team in the AFC.
There's definitely a possibility there. They have a quarterback. They have some weapons.
That Jamar Chase is fucking awesome.
He's the new Devontae Adams.
Their defense is young and feisty.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like their team. If they can just get a little bit of an offensive line.
Except for you don't like their coach.
I mean, honestly, he hasn't been too bad this year.
No, but he has weapons now and he has a quarterback.
Maybe he just needs to rebuild his team. Maybe I was just too quick to judge, which leads me into the next conversation we have, which is, would you rather be an NFL coach or a college coach? Because these college coaches are getting paid.
They are.
They're getting paid.
I told you I like the college atmosphere, so I'd have to say college. But
the only reason why I would I love the NFL product way better than I love college, but the only reason why I would probably, if I was in that position, I would lean NFL is because I feel like the college job is there's no time. There's no time off.
You're off season, you're recruiting.
You're off season, you're literally out like sitting at fucking dinner tables. Like this is a 5-star recruit. I'm going to have dinner with his family.
Right.
And like the NFL coaches at least get a month off, right? After the season, they get a month to recharge the batteries, refocus, whatever. But there's way more pressure on the NFL side.
Depending on what
there's never been a college coach that has been fired in a year. There's been multiple NFL coaches fired the same year they were.
I'm trying to think of the big universities. There's definitely some universities out there.
And then you got mediocre college coaches like Cliff Kingsbury that get freaking NFL positions.
Did you see they're trying to bring him back to college?
Oh, yeah.
The colleges are reaching out to him to come back.
Now that he's finally doing decent in the NFL, they're trying to bring him back.
Once again, you have a system in Arizona that works for him. Like everything fits his players.
I think that might be my retirement game. Like I was thinking about, what do I do when I retire? I think I just like go knock on the door. Like I'm in Pittsburgh. I just go knock on the door of the Steelers, go like, I want an internship. And I just start coaching. Like it's the only thing that I would like enjoy more than what I do right now. Is that weird?
No, it's not.
I'll just be an intern until I earn a coaching staff position, and then like, I'll be a coach. I think it'd be a fun job.
It would be.
Yeah, I think I'd be good at it.
Probably. You know enough about sports and football, so
I know enough about sports and football.
I've always been told I should be in a color analysis or a radio guy. to talk about sports, sort of like what we do right now.
Oh yeah, I can see you doing like taking the place of the all-time Pens.
Yeah, I don't want to even be put in that range.
No, but you could take that. You could do that. You could be like that color analyst because you would come up with those witty sayings and like
probably
Elvis has left the building, and all that stuff that he said. But anyways, I would lean NFL. You would lean college.
Yep.
Okay, well that's where it is. But that Lincoln Riley, I mean, that contract is absurd.
What about Brian Kelly?
Brian Kelly, absurd.
Jeez.
I mean, really, the only NFL coach that got near what they got was John Gruden.
Yeah.
And John Gruden got ended pretty abruptly. So
yeah.
He's suing the NFL.
I heard that. I heard about that.
As he probably should.
Well, yeah, that information shouldn't be getting out.
Listen,
like that.
If you want to ruin any person in the NFL's life, just go through their personal emails.
Exactly.
We all say stuff in our personal time that we probably shouldn't say occasionally, right?
But it's once again personal, and
it's personal. You think it's never going to come out. You're just a lot of times you're fucking around. You're goofing around with your friends, saying witty, jokey stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I have one friend that just my buddy Josh. I'll just say some of the most off the wall crazy comments that would be totally taken the wrong way if it was me. And I think most of the time just because he's just trying to make me laugh, right?
Right.
You say stuff like that with your friends and it's just it's a joke.
But it also could be very easily taken the wrong way by somebody. And
all the comments of the commissioner, that's total guy humor. Go into any locker room in America. That's guy humor.
Go look on YouTube, some of the YouTube shows, what they say about him.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't should he have not said certain things? Sure, but I think a lot of it was taken out of context. It was just jokes. It was I would put that in the same line. Now that I've reviewed the whole situation, I would put it in the same line as a comedian hanging out with other comedians.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
they're gonna say shit because they know they won't be judged. They're whether it's racist or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're just trying to make the other person laugh. Dude
has no career in the NFL now.
He has no life. His life is over.
Correct.
That shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry.
And don't get me wrong. Should he have enough money to take care of his life for the rest of the life? Yes, he should have enough money
for life,
to take care of himself.
He can't do what he loves to do.
Correct. He can't even go back to it because ESPN won't hire him now.
If it was something outside of personal emails, I would say it was wrong. If he said it in front of people or whatever, but if it was a personal email between friends, which is what it appears to be, I'm now kind of really? Are we really?
Maybe he goes and becomes a high school football coach like Philip Rivers.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe they take him. I don't even know if that's the thing.
Or a girls basketball coach like the Disney show with John Stamos.
Oh, geez.
Anyways, moving on. My buddy, Sean. We've talked a lot about this on the show. He finally joined the dark side.
Yep. I got an Xbox Series X, which is coming tomorrow. And yeah, I'm excited for it to try it. So I can go that route. I'm
excited for it too. And you're automatically locked into Xbox, Game Pass for what, 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah, because that's the only way you can get an Xbox Series X these days is to sign up for a subscription. And then if you sign up for a subscription, they're like, here you go. Here you go.
Xbox Series X.
We'll save you a little bit of money because you're locking into a 2-year contract.
We'll save you $20. No interest on this. No late payment fees. No nothing. Here you go. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely ridiculous that they would do that. However, I'm glad that you got one. I'm excited to get you in the Mad League. However, I will tell you ahead of time that we just got back into it finally. And the guys are refusing to redraft. So you and I are going to go through the roster and you'll get to pick what team fits your skill set the best.
Okay.
Because they don't want to redraft. We just started. We're on our first season.
Whatever.
But anyway, the new Madden
I'll build from there.
The new Madden has a bunch of team building stuff that is really cool. That I don't even know how to
the new generation. The new generation series, the game. I've obviously played it on PS4, but that's not the next generation.
Well, we are playing the old generation, so you're gonna have to get both. The one that's the new generation and the old generation. Okay. I think it's $70 because a couple of our guys still haven't upgraded their systems yet. Mostly because they can't just get their hands on a system yet. Right. So. Which I'm going to tell them that
it works.
But anyways, you're going to have to get the one with the boat. We're playing the old generation of the game. But anyways, welcome to the Xbox family, Sean. I'm happy you're here, and I'm excited that Even when we don't do two dads drink or whatever, if you're just hanging out and I'm hanging out, our families are sleeping, we could just hop on and play a game of Madden or something. Or you could whip my ass in NHL or whatever you want to do.
You could say thank you to my wife, because you remember my wife's one who said, why don't you just get that? All your friends do. Ian's right. And she actually said you were right.
Wow. Can I get that in like any kind of like actual like proof that
you actually want to ever say that in front of her?
No.
Exactly. So.
I'm scared of Sean's wife. It just is what it is. Anyways, welcome to the Xbox Club. We need to go into our 60 seconds, our hot takes. You got the timer set?
I'm just picking a song real quick. Timer's the easy part. Song's the hard part.
Sean got his new phone. He's new everything. You're gonna have a new truck.
Yep.
You got the new Xbox. You got a new iPhone. You are rocking and rolling, my friend.
So who's going first? Actually,
we're going with our team first.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's go.
Our team, the Detroit Lions, have won a football game.
Touchdown!
They lost me money, but they won a football game.
They won me money.
Sean bet on him. I don't know why the hell anybody would bet on him. And then they're coming down the field, last drive of the game, and I'm like, there's no way they scored.
I'm sitting here. I was paying attention. I'm like,
we're both watching it. We're like, oh my God, are they actually going to win? Oh my God, yes, they're going to win. And then I was like, there's no way they're going to win. It was fourth down.
I jumped out of my seat.
It was fourth down, and the Vikings played literally the worst coverage I've ever seen in a goal line situation.
By the way, who scored that touchdown?
St.
Brown, my boy, is at the beginning of the season.
He hasn't done shit all season. He scored
that touchdown. That won the game.
And that was without DeAndre Swift, who was injured.
Oh, I know. So wrong. Their back was pretty good. Jamal Williams.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
But still, I mean, hey, Motor City, Daniel Campbell won a football game. One win.
Super Bowl.
I want to go that far.
Not this year.
Make it, take it until you're overrated. I love that.
Click, boom.
Good old saliva. That brings me back to my high school years.
Fast and Furious. I just can't ever forget that song, Fast and Furious.
You're up, Sean. What's your hot take?
Ready, set, go. My hot take is dumb pedestrian people. So I am going to get into my accident, which is why I wasn't here last week.
I didn't think you were going this route.
Because this is a headache. So here in the city, we have a thing called a median, which means you should not be crossing the road at that point.
You're talking the big concrete thing in the middle?
Big concrete wall in the middle that's 3 feet tall on a busy 4-lane road that's a 50-mile-per-hour speed limit up and down the road. And cars are probably going 60 to 70 on that part of the road. You shouldn't be crossing the road. You shouldn't be crossing the road at 7 o'clock at night wearing a black jacket, a black tassel hat in the middle of the night because you have to get to a bus stop. When there is a red light, green light, whatever system on the road about 250 yards that you could have crossed. This is what caused the accident, which is what totaled the car, which is what injured me and the other person. Luckily enough, the other person's healthy as well, and I've kept in contact with them. But at the end of the day, it cost them to slam their brakes on, which also caused me to slam my brakes on, which ended up being the cause of the whole accident. And I do want to say thank you to the police because not enough people do that. The police actually were there, and they actually verified this on the report the correct way, saying about the pedestrian who decided to run and jump on a PAT bus, by the way, when everybody there was injured and knew they couldn't really do anything about it. So this person ran as soon as they realized, oh, there's somebody with a conscience here who understands that I effed up.
Wow.
And I can get in trouble. So nonetheless, that was a rant. I was a little pissed off and I wanted to get it off my chest. So that was my minute.
Okay. I'm glad you got to vent.
That was all.
You can always vent with me, buddy.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. So I've had a bunch of Eagles fans and a bunch of just NFL fans in general calling me out, saying my team is trash. And, that my team was just faking being a good team and all this other stuff. Look, we don't want to be hot right now. We want to be hot when it matters in the playoffs, right?
The first few weeks of the season.
Yeah. The Cowboys are on a little bit of a lull. We beat the Saints, right? Without our head coach, by the way. which might have been actually a benefit. I don't really know. However, we beat the Saints. Our defense played great. Diggs is amazing. And he got another interception. He may break the NFL interception record this year. And I am looking forward to it's just our offense got to get back on track. And that's going to be easy because we got NFC East games to get our confidence. It's still our year. Perfect time. Still our year. And by the way, the Eagles should start Gardner Minshew. He's way fucking better than Jalen Hurts. I know it's the Jets, but he can actually throw the football consistently.
But what? He only had 3 incompletions the whole game.
He can actually throw the football consistently.
Yeah. But he showed that in Jacksonville. He wasn't bad in Jacksonville either.
No. I will say that I listen to Bill Simmons, and Bill Simmons has been calling for him to be the starting quarterback in Philadelphia from day one as soon as he was traded.
You do know there's a report that this offseason, when he's a free agent, he's going to be the veteran that the Steelers go after.
I mean, he should be a starting quarterback, probably.
I like his leadership, to be honest with you.
There was no talent around him on that Jacksonville team.
Like I said, the leadership aspect to him, the mentality, I'm not number 2. I don't take a number 2 this offseason.
Yeah, that was great.
Which he ended up number 3 at one point in Philadelphia.
I haven't taken a shit in weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're on to 5 minutes now.
No, we got to go through our punishment, which there is none. Woo! We both hit the previous week.
We have a 5-minute conversation.
We do. We have a 5-minute. We're not there yet.
Oh.
We got to go through our picks.
Sorry, I thought it was before the picks.
We have no punishment because we both hit. You had
Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle, who crushed it for the Dolphins. And I had the Giants to cover the 3.5 points, who actually won straight out against the Eagles. I called that one. I know NFC East games like that. My hands. I just knew that was like too much points.
See,
to
he's
give
just going to take the easy pick so he don't have to lose. No double shots anymore.
I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe I'll get some confidence. I have a couple in a row now. Maybe I'll get some confidence, So, that's where we're at. So we got to go through our picks this week, which you are going to go first.
Okay. So I'm going to take it pretty easy. He hasn't been that great this year. He kind of had a better week last week. He is going into a matchup that I like, and I'm going to go with Russell Wilson.
So what is Russell Wilson's point projection for this week?
Haven't looked, but I'm sure it's rated in that 20 to 22 point range, but I'll make sure on that.
I mean, Russ has looked like straight dog shit all year, so
beginning of the year he wasn't.
I can't wait
bad
for you to have
injury.
your punishment shot, not to feel bad for you or
Dude,
anything.
did you know when it comes to record on the show, you've been straight dog shit on taking picks for the show?
You've taken just as many punishment shots as me, so
I'm talking about before we even started the punishment concept. As soon as we started the punishment
it's been
concept,
a weird NFL year. And I tried some really aggressive picks early on. So.
Yes, and then you got really, really simplistic when you realized, oh shit, I have punishments involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little simplistic.
Yeah, you still told me, oh, you have to make these difficult picks.
Hey, you're just picking against the point projections. That's not difficult.
Dude, at the beginning of the year, Robert Tonyan, Jalen Waddle, Cam Newton, I won with it.
You did win with Cam Newton.
I won with Cam Newton.
I'll give you props to that.
So let's see here. Let's go find him. Oh, shoot. I said 22. He's 28 against the Houston Texans.
He's got to score 29 points.
Yep.
Okay. I dig it. My pick. So, one of my theories is if you think that the team is actually at least a decent to good team or is an average team with a good head coach, you always bet on those teams coming off of bad weeks, right? So I bet on the Steelers last week, right?
Okay. Because,
they got pounced, right? I didn't bet on the Steelers to win as I should have. I bet on the Steelers to cover the 4.5 points because that was way too much in an AFC North battle. Like the Ravens Steelers.
That was actually in Pittsburgh too, on top of it.
Which again, home team gets 3 points, right?
So that's a
touchdown. No, it's too much. It was too much. It was 3 points. I would have stayed away.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Baltimore-Pittsburgh game that ended with a touchdown differential.
It's been a long time. So anyways, I love betting on good teams or average teams with good coaches coming off of really bad losses. So I'm going to roll with the Cincinnati Bengals this week, who are actually underdogs. So I'm going to say
Who are they playing this week?
I should probably know that.
When you said the underdog, I thought you were
I didn't write it
down.
I should have wrote it down, but I like their matchup. They're home underdogs, actually. Let me look it back up. I'm sorry, guys. I should be more prepared.
By the way, did anybody else notice that everybody loved Cleveland going into the year and Cleveland's the worst team in our division now?
They are playing the 49ers. Sorry.
Oh,
So they're playing the 49ers.
It's not a bad matchup, actually.
It's not a bad matchup. I don't know why the 49ers are road favorites over the Bengals. It makes no sense to me. So Vegas knows something that I do not know, but I am going with the Bengals. They are a 1.5-point dog, and I'm going to even make my pick stronger and say they're just going to straight up win. I don't even
Let's go Vegas.
I don't even want the 1.5 points.
Let's go Vegas.
Bengals to win.
Let's go Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't want the Bengals to win because they're in my division. I don't want them to win because I want you to do a double shot. So
fuck off. So we love talking sports. We're going to get our 5 minutes on the clock. This topic this week is not always about sports, but this topic this week is about sports. We're going to go over the top 4 awards in the NFL and who we think are going to win it. And you can bet on these things, by the way. So if you really are sure of one of these things, you should go onto your local betting app and get some really good odds, because especially when it comes to the MVP, nobody knows right now who's going to win the MVP. So, ready? 5 minutes?
Ready to go.
Go. All right. MVP of the National Football League. Who do you think is going to win?
I hate this effing question. Shoot, this is.
I'm gonna pull up the odds.
Not easy.
It is not easy at all. So current odds are Tom Brady plus 150, Josh Allen plus 450, Aaron Rodgers plus 650, Kyler Murray plus 800, Pat Mahomes plus 1200, Dak Prescott plus 1400, Matthew Stafford plus 15.
I'm going to go out of the way. I'm going with Kyler Murray.
He missed 4 games.
I know. But
I don't think anybody who's ever won the MVP has missed more than 2 games.
But look at what he's done in limited time.
And his team won 2 out of 3 without him, which doesn't look good for his MVP.
And he's back now.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I mean, look,
really,
it should be Aaron Rodgers.
I was going to say, is this out on the limb?
It should be Aaron Rodgers.
I would think so.
But because Aaron Rodgers lied to everybody, they're gonna be this is human beings that are voting on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like an algorithm or something like that. So I'm gonna guess that people are still mad at Aaron Rodgers for lying about his COVID stuff. And Josh Allen's looked like garbage in recent times. Pat Mahomes has had a really bad season for Pat Mahomes standards. I'm not saying in general, but it's Pat Mahomes standards.
Pat Mahomes standards.
Dak's looked bad in recent weeks. I got to go with Tom Brady. It's going to be fucking Tom Brady. He's going to win the award. If Derrick Henry was still healthy and killing
maybe.
I might have said the first running back in a long time might win. I think the last one was like 07 AP or 08 AP, something like that.
Oh man, that's just.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to go out on a limb here. Now there could be some dark horses, like if let's just say the Raiders win out and make the playoffs. Derek Carr could be there, and he's plus 5,000 right now.
I mean, there's a chance Stafford, depending on what the Rams do the rest of the way.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance. But I'm going to say Tom Brady. It would be my guess. Now, we're going to go to Defensive Player of the Year. And
we already know who Ian's going to say.
We have differing opinions. Dallas has 2 potential candidates. Steelers have 1 potential candidate.
You do know I listened to your game on Thursday. Or was it Thursday? Which game did I listen to for you guys? Nonetheless, they were talking about Parsons being the Defensive Player of the Year over your boy Diggs.
I mean, Parsons definitely is defense. We don't even have to talk about defensive rookie of the year, right?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
I mean, Parsons won that. I mean, Surtain maybe.
Surtain would have been the only other option.
The only other. He's got 4 interceptions as a rookie. Current odds are Myles Garrett plus 160.
No, go ahead, keep going.
Trayvon Diggs plus 550, TJ Watt plus 750, Matthew Judon plus 800, Aaron Donald plus 1200.
So here's my question with what you just said. So Diggs, once again, I would have given you credit on Diggs if he was the number 1 guy.
If he breaks the interception record, he is defensive player.
How is Myles Garrett there? Because all the stats that they say for him and base his numbers off of, TJ Watt has beaten this season on less than 2 games.
Myles Garrett leads the league in sacks.
No, he's losing TJ Watt by 2.
Is he? I thought he had 16 and 14.
No, he's 2 less than TJ Watt.
Oh, okay.
They showed these numbers the other day.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched many Browns games,
so that's my only question is how is he that guy when TJ Watt's numbers are better on 2 less games?
Here's the problem for both Myles and TJ is they play in lower markets.
I get it. But
I think it's going to be Diggs all day long and twice on Sunday. But if he breaks the interception record, it's 1,000% going to be Diggs. And you got the haters out there like Tony talks about. Oh, Diggs has let up so many yards or whatever, which depends on what stat source you're checking. Because ESPN says he's let up 149 yards on the year. Just saying. But does it really matter how many yards you let up? You fucking have 9 interceptions.
I would not have looked at that info. I would have looked at the turnovers.
Yeah, you have 9 interceptions and you lead the league in pass deflections on top of your interceptions.
I look at the plays. The plays are what stand out. That's why I like TJ Watt in his mind. You just think of like the Ravens game, the 3.5 sacks that he had, and how monstrous that last play. He's the one who stopped the 2-point conversion. That stuff stands out. Like if the Steelers do go on a run and they make the playoffs this year, that game for TJ Watt is going to stand out, and that's where his chance of winning Defensive Player of the Year comes in, because he's the catalyst there.
And out of all of these categories, which I think the rookie of the year, defensive and offensive rookie of the year, the only two that have actual like negative favorites, right? Mac Jones is -500, and Micah Parsons is minus.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now we're home.
Micah Parsons is -1,200 to win defensive rookie of the year.
See, I would have thought Jamar Chase would have been in there too.
Chase is +350. So if you think he's going to win rookie of the year, you should bet on Jamar Chase because you'll win $350 for your $100.
Here's the thing: Mac Jones and the
Najee
team
Harris
later.
+5,000. He's had a good year.
He's had a great year, but the offensive line doesn't make him stand out like he does.
Yeah.
But if you watch the games like people here are,
he
watching
leads the
games,
NFL in touches, right?
he's
now.
number 5 overall in yards and rushing yards with that shitty line that we have. He's number 5 over, not even just out of rookies overall.
Yeah.
So that says enough. If we had a decent line, he would be number 1 in the NFL. If we had a decent line, that could open up a hole for him.
I mean, I think you have to give it to Mac, right? Like,
I don't. Like
without Mac last year, Patriots are trash, right?
Yeah, but they also didn't bring in as many weapons last year as they did this offseason. They didn't spend as much money on tight ends and
how
wide
many games
receivers.
do you think they win with Cam Newton?
I don't know, because Cam's won a few games with Carolina already since he's went to Carolina.
I think Cam's done.
I don't think Cam's.
When I saw his one stat line was like 5 for 21 for 112
yeah, but you
yards
see the
and
guy
then 2
after him.
interceptions.
The guy after him came in and was 4 for 18.
Who was it? Was it Will Grier?
No, Glennon maybe.
Oh no, Will Greer's on the Cowboys now. That's right. No, Glennon's on the Giants.
Who was that? He came in, but he definitely came in after him. He was like 4 for 18. So it wasn't like nobody. It wasn't like it was night and day.
And I mean, for Parsons, he pretty much single-handedly turned around the worst defense in the NFL.
Like I said, he is a playmaker. The only guy I would have considered otherwise would have been Surtain in that whole deal. And I just don't think he's had enough of them to keep up.
And here's the crazy part is that like Parsons, he's played middle linebacker. He's played left end. He's played right end. Like they're just like, wherever we need help, we'll play him. And he even said in his one press conference, he's like, I'll play any position on the field. He's like, put me on wide receiver, coach. I'm good.
He's a playmaker.
I got this.
He's just a playmaker.
He's a playmaker.
He's a playmaker.
And he's so confident in himself.
Those are few and far between guys who have that persona, who just go and make a play.
Last week, he made a play, which I know you probably didn't watch it, but he made a play on what's the Saints quarterback, the fast one?
Hill.
So Hill, arguably one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league and super athletic. He rolled out to the right. And he was probably 15 yards between him and Parsons. And Parsons turned on the Jets and he didn't even have time to throw the ball away. He had to just take a sack. And when Hill got up, he just had this look on it. He looked over at Sean Payton on the sidelines like, what am I supposed to do? Like the guy.
Right. He was there.
He is so unbelievably explosive. It's unreal. Anyway, it's going to be a fun season, but I would say the hardest one is 100% MVP. Who the fuck is the MVP? Maybe you give it to TJ, Miles Garrett, or Diggs, whoever wins defensive player of the year. Maybe they win both because they really shouldn't go to any of these quarterbacks. I mean,
none of them are stellar. Like Brady's not been bad, but he's not been
had
stellar.
Equally bad weeks. Like when he played the Rams, he sucked. And I mean, he's had plenty of bad weeks.
And here's my catch. Every one of them, like even Kyler Murray, how I pick Kyler Murray, even Kyler Murray has all the weapons in the world around him to be better than he's actually doing. But I don't want to say that because Kyler Murray, when he's played, has been very good. The problem is he's been injured for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's his issue. If he played the whole 4 weeks, Without a doubt, I probably would have said Kyler Murray because the way he's been playing all year when he's actually in the game, he looks like a Madden cheat code.
So the other one I didn't think was going to be any kind of a competition. I know we're over 5 minutes, but and we didn't talk about it all. Was comeback player of the year. Everybody like locked in Dak Prescott. What about Joey Burrow though?
Joey Burrow, he's in there. He's had a phenomenal season.
He tore up his knee.
Look at Cincinnati this year.
Yeah, I mean, Joey Burrow definitely deserves to be in the conversation. Although Dak had the gruesome injury, like Dak had that bone sticking out of the
really
leg.
Comeback player of the year. Last year we saw Burrow for what was it, 8 weeks before the injury or 6 weeks or something like that. And those were the first
8 or 10 weeks, something like that.
And those were the first weeks that we've ever seen him play. So you're really like Dak. We know what we were getting. We're just waiting for him to come back at this point.
Right.
Joey Burrow, technically you could say we really weren't.
Yeah, he showed some talent, but we didn't really know.
We still weren't sure. But no, he's done wrong. I'm pretty sold on Joe Burrow at this point as a quarterback.
What would you trade to get Joe Burrow on the Steelers right now?
First round pick and a few others.
Just one?
Oh, like I said, and a few others. You're talking quarterbacks here, right?
Trade Ben and 3 firsts?
You think they would want Ben?
I mean, would you take that though, Ben?
I would trade that in a second for Joe Burrow. Quarterbacks are a difference maker in the game.
That's true.
When you have a franchise quarterback, they're a difference maker.
And clearly, like the Rams organization is devaluing first round picks, like the NBA.
Oh, geez. You want to take our picks, our first, second, third? Do you want them? Who do you got that would be interesting?
Right now, Sean McVay's on the phone somewhere going like, hey, do you want the 2032 first round pick for the Rams? I'm not going to be here. So, yeah, I'll trade that away.
I'll trade that one away. Who do you got? Who's your all-star?
Who's your all-star
that doesn't want to be there?
That I can somehow afford under the cap,
Yeah, I still don't get that. How they have all these guys and they're still.
Well, how they picked up Von Miller under the cap is the Broncos agreed to pay the salary for this year. So they're not going to be able, which I think his contract's up this year. So they're not going to be able to re-sign him. It was literally, they gave up a second-round pick for Von Miller for half a season.
Yeah.
It was an NBA move. You see it all the time in the NBA.
St. Louis, all they're worried about is, can we win? Yep. Can we win? Yep.
LA.
That's right. LA.
All right. We're on to Kids Corner.
Kids Corner.
I think I went first last time. So you
Maybe.
can go first.
All right. So we'll go to Santa brunch.
Okay.
So we had Santa brunch this weekend with the kids. His family was here. My family was there. A bunch of other families were there. I don't ever get, kids love Christmas because they get gifts. They know Santa is the one who brings them the gifts. However, did you notice how many kids at that party were terrified of Santa?
It's like the first 4 years of your life you're terrified of Santa. So then you really only get maybe 4 to 6 good years of Santa out of kids. Well, your kids never really were terrified.
No, Grayson wasn't terrified, but remember, they didn't want to hug him. They would barely want to go near him. They weren't super terrified, but at the same time, they were like, "Nah, I'm not coming near you. Nah, here, my toy, thanks. I'm out."
But
even Ollie, I'll talk to you.
But our kids have also seen another Santa that had a real beard, and then like this one rolls in with a fake beard. I'd be a little questioning it too. Like, is this dude like this dude for real? Right?
Well, he has a real beard. It's just dark underneath.
Well, yeah. So that was definitely entertaining. None of our kids. We had some kids crying. None of our kids.
It wasn't our kids crying. Oh man. That and geez, what was Ollie up to? There was something he was doing at the party that was hilarious, but he's always hilarious.
Ollie is always funny.
Ollie is not a person anymore. Ollie is better known as an Ollie.
Ollie Butt. We call him
Ollie Butt. He calls himself now, I'm crazy Ollie.
I'm crazy.
I'm crazy Ollie.
He's talking a lot more.
He talks all day.
And I'm glad that I finally got him liking me by it. I can just pretend like I'm going to eat him.
Yeah, but then you just walk in the house and try to scare them off the bat and you wonder why they run from you for the first 20 minutes.
Hey, you know what? We have fun together. That's all that matters. You don't have any specific your kids stories?
No.
It's been a quiet 2 weeks.
Being the beating I've taken for the last week. And this is a catch-up week right now. And I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow.
Oh boy.
So,
well, it's not a full vacation.
It's more of a getaway is what it is.
Weekend
getaway.
Absolutely.
So no, just hasn't been a lot. Like even last week, once I got hurt, didn't really leave the house very much because I was sore and in pain. So
you know that I've been like overly communicative with my wrestling program, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So and I really I just think that like our wrestling program, especially the younger program, just needs probably new leadership, new running. Like, so I I've been asking Roman after each practice, like, hey, how's it going? You wrestling? And he told me after his last practice, this was like, what was it, Wednesday of last week? He's like, oh yeah, because he did Monday, Wednesday was his practice night. He's like, oh, we're not even like live wrestling yet, Dad. It's really boring. And I was like, what do you mean your match is like a week from, like his match is this upcoming Sunday? Like, how are you not live wrestling yet? Like, this is crazy. We've been doing an open match for so long. It's like your sixth practice or whatever.
Mhm.
So then like on Monday, I went in and I just like pulled the one coach aside. And I'm like, hey, how's Roman doing? And he's like, oh, well, you know what? We're really not even like, we're just kind of strength and conditioning right now. And I'm like, they have a match coming up this week. He's like, yeah, we're just trying to get these kids, this is the younger crowd, da, da, da. And so I just was like, you know what? I'm like, so I went to Joe, who kind of like runs it. And I was like, Roman's kind of said he's bored. I just went and talked to the coach. He says they're not even doing live wrestling yet. How do I move Roman up to like the next room up, right? Because they have like the introductory, then they have like the novice, and then the advanced class, before you get to the older kids or whatever. And he's like, oh, you got to talk to the Steve guy or whatever. So then I'm like, oh, okay. So I hit Steve up and I was like, hey,
You're that parent.
Oh, I'm that parent. I'm like, hey, Roman's kind of bored and like he's on his third year. I know he hasn't grown at all, but he's on his third year and he's pretty advanced. And he's like, yeah, bring him. He's like, bring him to the next week. So I'm like, okay, great. But the punishment is so now it's Tuesday, Thursday is these practice days, right?
And Thursday is an issue.
Well, so then I had to do Monday, Tuesday, and now like I just added an extra day of driving my kids around and going crazy. But Roman went to the Tuesday group. And got moved up to the more advanced group, and he was super pumped. He's like, I'm pinning kids and I'm doing stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. So
Good,
worked out. I'm happy. Roman's actually wrestling now. We'll see how it goes. But this is like a really interesting year because we've held him out of tournaments. I don't know if you know the wrestling. I'm learning the wrestling.
Right.
I've been more of a football person my whole life. Basketball is my second sport. I'm learning the wrestling world. Your first eligibility is all off of like tournaments, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've never put Roman in a tournament. We've only done matches, right? So technically, if we put Roman in a tournament this year, he'd be first year tournament player. Okay. With 3 years wrestling experience. And they have to match him up based on size, which my son, he's not grown at all.
Right.
Like he's your son is bigger than my son. Your son's 2 years younger than my son, right? Or a year and a half, whatever you want to say. So he's going to be matched up against 5-year-olds that are first-time wrestlers. He's going to be winning some medals this year. We're going to have to put him in a tournament. Let him win a medal. Just let him mop up. So we'll see how he does in the matches. But if he does well in the matches, we're definitely going to be putting him in tournaments. So it's been entertaining. But it's just crazy. Like we have wrestling and dance and basketball, and now the other basketball league starting. We have something every fucking night of the week, and every single weekend's taken up. And so now I'm playing the other side of things, right? So this Sunday, first match. I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's just a little warm in here, actually.
This Sunday, his first match. Wrestling is like we show up at 9 and we stay till like 3:00 in the afternoon, and he wrestles 3 times, right? That's how it works. It kind of sucks. I wish they'd do it better. Well, they sent out a message in the group chat, which I was already telling Cassie, I'm like, I'm gonna have to hopefully have good service in this gym because I'm gonna have to watch the Cowboys game with my phone. And I'm like really like stressing about this. And they sent out, I guess there's like some what's CDC, CDR, some abbreviation of something going on Sunday morning. And then there's a church.
Well, CDC is the thing through COVID.
Yeah. Well, then there's a church. It's not that. It's something kid related. Then there's a church thing going on. So they're like, the parents, if you have these things going on, you need a later wrestling matches, let us know so that you don't miss any matches or whatever. So then I hit up Joe and I was like, hey, Joe, I need to be out by like 1:00. I'm like, is that cool? Like, can you work that in since you have all these other kids trying to wrestle late? He's like, yeah, I can make that work for you. He's like, yes, I get to watch wrestling and get to go home and watch the Cowboys game. Perfection. I'm working it.
Working.
I'm working it. Got my
They just
son,
don't want to deal with you
got
anymore.
my son moved up. Yeah, I'm working it.
They just don't want to hear from you anymore.
Whatever. I don't care. Whatever works, baby.
That's all it is. They're like, shit, can we get them to quit calling us or pulling us aside?
As a parent, our one job is to look out for our kids.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I look out for my son. I make sure he's going to have every opportunity possible. And if
Yeah.
you're not even live wrestling yet, he's got 3 years experience. He should be in there smashing kids into the freaking mat by now. He should be pinning kids in practice, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, no. So yeah, we're good. Got him moved up. We're good. Working on it. And I guess they were happy because there's some kid his size that in the advanced class that was having trouble matching up with kids. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's cool.
That's perfect. Match them up with Roman, who actually has a clue what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's good. So anyways, kids corner. That's it.
Kids Corner.
Buffalo Trace. Cheers, buddy. It's
Cheers.
been a long 2 weeks for
It
you.
has. It really.
That is a good one.
Yeah. No complaints. Actually, before we go, I feel like we should call Eric Costco out because I'm pretty sure his birthday's coming up here in a week or so.
He probably doesn't even watch the show anymore. He doesn't care about us.
I'm just saying that because we should probably call him out and get him on the show for his birthday.
Ooh. You think he'd actually do it is the question. Yeah. He hasn't been here since like what, the third or fourth show?
Was it that late or was it
We're
like
over 30
10?
shows in,
was
bro.
it like 10? Episode 10?
Maybe got 8. I don't know. It was
Whatever.
something like that.
Nonetheless, I feel like we should call him out since his birthday's coming up soon.
You know, if we do that, we're getting smashed on a two dads drink.
Yeah, and the concern there is it's on Wednesday nights now and not.
Monday nights.
Yeah, it's not any better. Yeah, not any better.
I've been doing yoga on Thursday morning, so if we're gonna get smashed, I'm not registering for yoga the next morning. But yeah, Eric, you're welcome on the show if you're listening. I doubt he's listening now.
No, he doesn't. He hasn't heard us in weeks. Although he says he loves the show still.
Yeah, well, hey, I know one person who does listen every week, and that's Lord
Jack.
That's a Jack attack. So hopefully Jack will be back on soon.
In Hoover's mom.
Yeah, my mom watches quite a bit.
Mhm.
I had to ruin her Christmas present today.
You told her already.
Well, I had to because I was like, "What kind of a bed do you like?" So my mom's bed got real old and broken in and stuff. It's old. It's like I think she got that bed when I was like 12. That bed is like 22 years old. Beds aren't supposed to last that long.
No, well,
and-
they do, but they're not comfy.
And I like sat on the bed like when I was there last, and I like sunk in, and I was like, "Whoa, this isn't what a bed's supposed to be like." So I'm like, I told Cassie, "I'm gonna get my mom a bed for Christmas."
Mhm.
And but then like there's so many different like, do you want firm? Do you want
firm?
soft? And
Do you want memory foam? Do you want?
yeah, what the hell do you want? So I had, and then she's in a full size right now. Like, do you want like a queen size bed? Do you want a full size again? What do you want? So I had to call her and like
You had to kind of.
I had to ruin the surprise, but she's an adult. Like whatever. Hey, I ruined your surprise, but
But you're getting an awesome gift here.
Yeah, here you go. Merry Christmas. So yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And what next week? We should have a show next week.
Yeah, we should have a show next week.
Probably not
so.
the week after. Like what we're
Not
2 days
Christmas
before
week.
Christmas.
Not Christmas week. No. Remember, guys, we don't care anymore. You don't watch us anymore. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think we had like 6 views on our last
So
video.
yeah, next week's the 15th. Yeah, we should be
We
doing
could
that.
potentially even do the 22nd. Maybe. We'll put a maybe on that
I'm gonna
one.
say, yeah, my wife has classroom holiday party. She's a PTO mom, an SPTO mom. No,
Let's during the day.
that right.
Right.
It's not gonna affect anything. But yeah, so yeah.
Potentially. The 29th is a definite no-go. So if we miss the week of Christmas, I'm going to be in Chicago on the 29th.
Where you going?
Bulls game.
There you go.
Which my Bulls are on fire too. This is our year, bro. This is our year.
Eminem's gonna be there.
Eminem's going to be at the halftime show. Cowboys going to win the Super Bowl. Bulls going to win the NBA championship. This is my year.
I say at the moment, like, well, I guess me and you will be in Inman in New York.
We can do it from New York. Fuck
Yeah, sure, we'll be together. What's the
Yeah.
difference?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyways, deuces, guys. Love
Deuce.
you.
See
Keep
ya.
tuning in. Talk to you
Bye.
later.
Go to sleep. Good night. Bye.
I'm going to sleep.